January 22nd, 2020 meeting of the Rotterdam Town Board. This evening we entered our agenda review at approximately 5:30 p.m. and we exited agenda review at approximately 6:30 p.m. with a motion by Mr. Christo and a second by Mr. Guidarelli, with all voting in the affirmative to exit the agenda session. Ms. Marco, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Christo?
Present.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Present.
Mrs. Miller-Herrera?
Present.
Mr. Signor?
Present.
Mr. Tomaso?
Present.
5 present.
Okay, would you all please stand for the pledge? Ms. Guerrero, would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so this evening we'll have a couple of public hearings, and then we'll go into our public comment privilege of the floor. And I just want to mention, with public comment privilege of the floor, if you want to speak, and whoever, is there anyone here who didn't sign in that wants to speak tonight? Okay, so Ms. Markle has the list there, and that's on the privilege of the floor and public hearings, but I'll go through the public hearing in a second here. We'll get that started. But on public comment privilege of the floor, you have 4 minutes to speak, and what I'll do is when you start, I'll time you, and I'll put my hand up at 3 minutes, put my hand up again at 4, and if you still have some things to say after 4 minutes, I'm not going to just shut you down. Just continue for as many seconds, I guess I'll say it like that, as you need to finish up your thoughts, and then we'll move on to the rest of the meeting. So thank you for that. So Ms. Markle, let's start with public hearing 1, please.
To allow for a change of zone request from retail business B1 to general business B2 on the following properties. 1841 Helderberg Avenue, Stewart's, known as tax map number 50. Is that me?
No, it's sorry. You can start over again on 1841.
1841 Helderberg Avenue, Stewart's, known as tax map number 59.9-10. 1829 Helderberg Avenue, Rotterdam, known as tax map number 59.9-1-9. 1827 Curry Road, Gallagher, known as tax map number 59.9-1-12. 1829 Curry Road, Martin, known as tax map number 59.9-1-11. 1823 Helderberg Avenue, Evans, known as tax map number 59.9-1-8. Applicant is proposing the construction of a new plus or minus 3,695 square foot Stewart shop with associated 4-island fuel dispensing facility. Site development will require demolition of an existing Stewart shop and 4 additional neighboring buildings, all currently zoned retail business B1.
Okay, do we have anyone for public hearing 1?
Dwayne, you didn't say, are you coming up for the public hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, some of this stuff I'm just kind of reading through for the first time, and I'm not sure if I'll have anything really to add.
Okay. All right. So just so you know, the way we conduct the public hearings is we go through, and if you want to come up now, speak, that's why we do it this way. If at the end of the meeting, if you want to stay, if you're not ready to ask us any questions, or when I say that, basically speak it during the public hearing and give us your comments, then at the end, if you want to just come up and speak to us, or that's fine too. It just won't be on the record.
All right.
So that you know that. Okay. All right. Is there anyone? No one on public hearing 1? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm good evening. I'm Chuck Marshall from Stewart's. I'm here more or less, I guess, to answer any questions the board may have.
If you don't mind, you have a rendering?
Well, no rendering, just these are the parcels.
Right. You know what? I would rather, if you don't mind, can you turn it to the public to show that so it's on the screen there, and then you can. I'll come around. Actually, bring it out more, because it's kind of hard to see if they're here. Yeah, not like that. That's perfect. And angle it towards that camera. Yeah. A little bit more. Yeah. So go ahead. So if you want to speak from here, that would be fine, because I think that you won't need the mic, because it'll get picked up there. But if you want to go through and show where the parcels are, where the existing station is, and what your plan is.
Yeah, so I mean, very simple and straightforward, but the existing Stewart's at 1841 is right here. What we're proposing to do is purchase the surrounding 4 properties. The existing Stewart's is existing non-conforming. Gasoline filling isn't allowed in the B1, it is allowed in the B2. So we're just proposing to put the 4 parcels in the B2 and then redevelop the site, reorient the locations for, driveway locations for better circulation, get the vehicles, the delivery vehicles out of the customer access area, and kind of do what we
Clean up
can.
the corner.
Clean up the corner.
It's gonna be a complete demolition of the building?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Ms. Evans does remain as a tenant for the length of her life, but that's an internal deal. And Mohawk Opportunities will stay for a short period as they work with the state to relocate their facility.
Okay. Any board members have any other questions?
Chuck, the tanks are staying?
The tanks will be replaced. The tanks will be replaced with new double wall fiberglass tanks. If they're the appropriate, I'll have to double check the age, but typically they get replaced.
Yeah, so it's not for.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Okay, anyone else like to be heard on public hearing 1 at this time? Anyone else like to be heard on public hearing 1 at this time? Anyone for public hearing 1? Okay, we'll declare public hearing 1 closed. And public hearing 2, please.
To amend Chapter 265, Property Maintenance, Section 265-4, duty to maintain property to remove J.
Okay, we have anyone for public hearing 2?
No, no.
No. Okay. Anyone like to be heard on public hearing 2? Anyone like to be heard on public hearing 2? Anyone like to be heard on public hearing 2? Okay, we'll declare public hearing 2 closed at this time. And going into public comment privilege of the floor, Ms. Mark, what do you have?
Bob Godlewski.
Bob Godlewski, 1046 Manus Drive. Resolution 54-20, that's the allocation of funds between accounts. I noticed, and I know it's getting towards the end of the year, and there's going to be a lot more transfers to balance the budget for the monthly balance. The question I have is, I see there's quite a large amount, like almost $166,000 being transferred from Water District 5 engineering consultants. And the reason I bring that up, I was here December 11th, and in Resolution 366-19, we transferred $26,000 into that same account. So, say a little short of $200,000 is going into that account for engineering/consultants. My question is any of this covered by any of the bonds or anything we're taking out for any improvements to Water District 5? I mean, I don't know what they're associated with, that's why I'm asking that question. And it seems it's a lot of money, all right? That's why I'm asking, is it going to fall under a bond, or is it? Or are we just going to pay it out of those various accounts?
In any end of the business here for the county, whether it's through a grant or a bond, some of it does come through those grants or bonds, and some of it is our own resources, if you will, our own monies within those different special districts and the general fund or highway fund to pay for those engineering fees. So
And
I can't tell you exactly.
No, I understand.
But yes, the answer is yes.
Because needless to say, 8 months ago, when those funds when they were put in there for the original budget, I know all the department heads have their input, what they need. And the thing that stands out on this particular one, I see in Water District 5, there was $90,000 allocated for equipment. And my concern is, we're taking it off that line. And Steve, and I'm sure the rest of the board knows, after the books are closed, any unused funds in the various accounts go into the fund balance, okay? So that's my concern, that we're using those funds now, and I'd be honest with you, I didn't look to see what's on that line for 2020. But it seems strange that somebody said they needed $90,000, and here we are, well, now we don't need it. So either somebody estimated wrong, or something else happened.
And that, some of those may not even be closed out yet, though, as well. Just, so you're still looking at the 19 budget and the subsidiary ledger, so some of those items still may not be completely closed out yet. That'll take another month or two before we know it.
I understand that, and as you may not be aware, I filed a FOIL request to get the general ledger, okay, which I did get, okay? They also sent me a year-to-date budget. And the other thing that concerns me on this line, and the board can look it up, we're over budget on that line by about 273%, which is a significant overage, shall we say, or whatever, and that's what stuck out. Now, I don't want to leave resolution 36619. Because last time I was here, I brought up the point that we were transferring money out of Water District 5 to pay for work. And you even gave me an attaboy for finding it, because it was showed under Sewer District 2. And I was under the impression that that was going to be changed to Sewer District 5, or Water District 5.
It is water 5.
Right, but it wasn't changed.
Well, what you look at was, because I have it here, because I kept it in my book. So under department, it says sewer. That was just someone taking a PO and not looking here. But if you look on the right-hand side where it talks to the fund appropriation, the fund appropriation is coming out of Water 5. So Tammy did make that correction from the perspective that, you know, it's still, the money did come out of Water 5, it did not come out of the sewer district.
Okay, but the invoice wasn't changed to reflect that.
Well, it's not an invoice, it's really the town of Rotterdam PO.
It's a voucher.
It didn't need to change. This didn't really need to change because, again, the appropriation is what you gotta look at right here on the right-hand side.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I
that's what
knew
we're
that when I was
calling
here in December.
Yeah.
I only brought up the point that the voucher the way it is written is not correct fiscally. That's all I'm saying, all right? That's all I'm saying, all right? The other thing I brought up under that, another resolution that same night, was the balance and the unreserved fund balance for Water District 5. All right? Now, I did get the report from the controller, all right? And it was dated 12/23 of last year. And the way I read it, we spent 1.7 million, and there's a minus in the column. So I sent her an email, all right, to get an explanation, and unfortunately, the controller doesn't answer her emails, okay? Which I'm quite surprised, because she knows me, and I can assure you, I would like to know what the balance is.
For the Water 5, unrestricted?
Yeah, and the account is SW5, that's 0960. I would like to know what that current balance is,
I can get that.
okay? And I'm surprised that when we do those resolutions to take money out of the unrestricted fund balance for any account, it doesn't show the ledger account is coming out. And it should. Because how do you know where the money's coming from? All you know is you're making a transfer, all right? Now, I know my time's almost up.
Yeah, it has been up for a while.
Yeah, and well, I got just one other request. Not gonna cost you.
All right.
Well, not this time. One of the reports that I got from, I know when I used to be on the board, but as a taxpayer, you do have the budget online. And that's wonderful. But the budget is a static document. It's a point in time. The one that I found very helpful, that I got from the controller's office, is where you show the year-to-date activity in all the accounts. Then, when you look at the transfers, you have something you can understand where it's going to. I would ask you, the board, if it would be possible to put this document on the town website, because it means more to a taxpayer. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you for the time, and have a good night.
Okay, anyone else under public comment privilege of the floor? No, okay. So let's go into the resolutions. Resolution 4220.
Adopt the meeting minutes from the December 11th, 2019, and the January 1st, 2020 town board meetings.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Guidarelli. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, please call the roll.
Mr. Christophe?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mrs. Ziglar?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 4220 passes. Resolution 4320.
Appoint Joseph M. Signor as a member of the Town of Rotterdam Planning Commission.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Christou, is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Ms. Miller Herrera. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Christophe?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
I'm going to abstain.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
4 yes, 1 abstain.
Okay, resolution 4320 passes. Resolution 4420.
Authorize the supervisor to enter into contracts with Barlett, Pontiff, Stewart, and Rhodes, P.C., and Gilchrist Tingley, P.C. for the years 2020 and 2021.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou, is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Mr. Guidarelli. Anyone on the question? Just on the question, these contracts are for the attorneys that represent our planning commission and our zoning board of appeals. So, Ms. Marco, please call the roll.
Mr. Christophe?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
And Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 4420 passes. Now we have consent items 45 through 50, 20. Could I have a motion for consent items, please?
Mr. Supervisor, I vote that we vote affirmative on the consent items 4520 through 5520.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Christou. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Signor. Does anyone have any questions on any of the resolutions here? So we do have, just to let the public know a couple of things, we are moving forward with sewer line for Carmen Road. We are voting on a couple of other change orders, if you will, for the improvements to the senior center. We're voting to accept money for the highway fund budget, which is the CHIPS money, as it's called. It's almost $96,000 that we're taking in there. We're paying for our landfill post-closure improvements and repairs to our landfill. You know, for those that always think that landfills make you money, the carrying costs into the future, you never recover. So frankly, that'll be there for a long time. We have repairs that need to be made, so that's $106,000, almost $107,000. Came out of the post-closure reserve that we have here in the town. Other monies here for our interconnection with Schenectady. We are putting in a water interconnection on Hamburg Street, so that it's there, so that you know, if we needed to, if our main line was disrupted, we could get our water through Schenectady and still fill our tanks and provide water to our residents, and vice versa. If Schenectady needed our water, we can connect to them and provide them with water as well. And then there are a couple of other resolutions here. We have the town clerk's report and then the budget transfer. So we have A motion by Mr. Christou, second by Mr. Signor. Ms. Marco, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christophe?
Yes.
Mr. Gitterelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolutions 45 through 55, 20 pass. Does anyone have anything under committee reports or miscellaneous tonight?
Just real quick, making progress on the 2020 celebration that's coming up. Lots of ideas going out there, and always looking for any additional people who want to become part of the committee. If you do, you can email me or see me afterwards, or somehow get a hold of me, and we'll see if we can connect you with people on the committee.
Steve, could you mention just one quick thing on the contest with the schools that you authorized? Could you mention that?
Yes, we solicited some ideas, or if you will, some drawings to come up with what might be tantamount to a town emblem, if you will. The results were stunning and outstanding, and they were all of really, really top quality. And a bunch of us, we sat around and we voted, and we've selected a couple that we really thought were nice. We're not going to reveal them yet or anything, but the schools, I think it was Mohonasen and Shelmont, or the districts, excuse me, the Mohonasen and Shelmont school districts, both did an outstanding job. And so you'll be very, very pleased when you see the end result.
Okay. Anyone else? I'm looking both ways here. No? Okay.
Supervisor, I move to adjourn.
This is what I was afraid of. So we have a motion by Mr. Christou for adjournment. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Gitterelli. All in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you very much for coming this evening. If anyone would like to